Good morning. Today's lesson is lesson 7.5. We're going to start talking about compound inequalities. This will be a several day series of lessons, but today is the first of those. Compound inequalities. Here are your notes. Two or more inequalities joined by the word and or the word or form a compound inequality. Today we're going to focus on the and. You can write a compound inequality such as x is greater than negative 5 and x is less than or equal to 7 as negative 5 less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 7. Now you can read this a couple of ways. One is that x is greater than or equal to negative 5 and less than or equal to 7. Another way to read it is x is between negative 5 and 7 inclusive. So I'm going to do a couple of examples. When I look at this inequality, I'm going to break it into two parts. And the first part is going to be negative 4 is less than r minus 5. And I'm going to go ahead and simplify that. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. And I'm going to be left with r is greater than 1. Now I'm going to split this in half, and I'm going to look at the second half as r minus 5 is less than or equal to negative 1. Add 5 to both sides, and I get r is less than or equal to 4. So I've got r sitting in between these two. So if I rewrite it, I have 1 is less than r, which is also less than 4. You can also read that as r is between 1 and 4 inclusive. So let's look at the second example. Oops, sorry about that. Solve negative x is less than 3x is less than 15. So I'm going to break this in two. The first part I'm going to look at negative 6 is less than 3x. Divide both sides by 3, and I get x is greater than negative 2. Then I'm going to do the second part. I'm going to divide it and have 3x is less than 15. Divide both sides by 3, and I get x is less than 5. So x is in between. You see that this x, I only need to write it once, and I'm going to keep the signs in the same position and rewrite my answer as this. Up here, my answer is this. Okay? So now I'm going to turn to the next page and go over a couple more notes. Problems that are presented to you as 3x is greater than negative 6 and 3x is less than 15 will be solved by simplifying each inequality independently and then compressing them to show the variable once with the appropriate signs and the two endpoints of the inequality. So if I look at that second problem, negative 2 is less than x, which is less than 5. I'm going to find negative 2 on my graph, which is here. And because it's just less than, I'm going to have an open circle, reminding you about the open and closed circles. And then 5 up here is going to be a closed circle. And the solution to this inequality lies in between these 2 points. Okay, this one, negative 2, is not a solution, so it's anything that's greater than negative 2. The solutions to an and inequality fall between two endpoints. There is a definite endpoint, and the solutions are in between those two endpoints. There's a problem for you to do as an OYO on your paper. Please fill out all of the parts of this and submit this handout as part of your grade for the watching the lesson, this lesson video, and the rest of the work you need to do. You should have already completed your do now. You have 5 problems for homework, and then you have an exit slip. I'm not going to include any IXL this week. When we come back to school on Monday, we'll be working on the OR version of inequalities and then working on word problems on Wednesday. Have a great day. Call me if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.